Well, maybe Drew will be easier to beat after 200 or 300 matches.
So how powerful is the Almageddon?
I need to discuss this situation with the Council of Codemasters.
That would be the new most totally awesomest thing that has ever happened to me!
And come prepared for defeat.
How's it going, everybody? It is I, Codemaster Hardrock, and I was watching an episode of Chaotic called Almageddon from Season 1. And as some of you may recall, there's a character there named Hotan, who on the surface, if you look at his card, isn't really all that crazy powerful. However, what's fascinating to note is he's the first creature that we see use an attack called Almageddon. Now, Almageddon is an attack that deals 10 damage for every single element that you have, plus an additional 10 for base. So in hindsight, that's 50 damage, right? It can take out most, low-level creatures, as I'm going to refer to this as, with a single attack. However, the artwork and the show describes it at a far more devastating nature. So, with that in mind, let's go over what the card Almageddon itself looks like. And with that in mind, we're going to see just how powerful Almageddon is, at least in terms of the lore. So, let's check it out.
Hey guys!
Peyton, what's going on?
That kid Drew's been thrashing through the drones. The dude's unbeatable.
Drew the skate rat? He wasn't that good when I battled him a few weeks ago.
Well, he is now. Everybody wants to battle him.
Later!
Why would anybody want to play somebody you can't beat?
First of all, nobody's unbeatable. Second of all, what's more fun, beating a total winner or a total loser?
So in the card Almageddon, we happen to notice that there's what appears to be a nuclear explosion followed by a massive fireball, a giant gust of wind, which we could chalk that up to a tornado, a massive tsunami, and electricity, lightning floating around. But if you look at the promo edition, it's a massive tornado that's like ripping the earth apart. So I guess we'll go over this element by element. So what we see is a burst of lava and fire coming out. Now, looking at Google claims that lava in of itself could go anywhere between 700 degrees to 1,200 degrees Celsius. That's 1,300 degrees to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's on the surface level. Now, when Hotan uses Almageddon to quote-unquote save his village, in reality he winds up destroying it with this attack.
This place was a happy one, and Hotan was my closest friend. For many years, Hotan's village lived in peace and prosperity under his wise leadership. Then one day, underworld raiders swept through the village. Hotan was furious. He set off to find a way to protect his village from anyone who threatened it again. It was in an ancient place, in a far corner of Perin, that he found what he sought. The long-lost secret of a devastating attack called Almageddon. With this powerful ability, Hotan returned to his village. For a short while, all was well. Until the fateful day when the Underworlders returned. This time, Hotan was ready for them.
He stopped the Underworlders?
But he destroyed everything he was trying to protect.
It absolutely would singe and destroy, burn alive all the people in his village, and I'm shocked it doesn't do anything to him. Then again, he's the one unleashing it, so maybe there's some sort of invincibility factor with that? I don't know. But regardless, that's still pretty insane. Looking through as well, like I mentioned, there's lightning on this card art. Now, here's the question that I proposed, which was, what happens when you get struck by lightning? Now, here's the thing. We all know lightning's fairly hot. I don't gotta tell you that. Now, if somebody is struck by lightning, their body could experience quite a number of things, including nervous system damage. They could experience cardiac arrest, various burns, respiratory arrest, many other injuries, including skin marks, long-term effects, cognitive problems. Like, lightning could really mess you up. And considering lightning's all over this thing, yeah, that would not surprise me. So not only are you being blasted by essentially 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, you are being your nervous system's getting completely torn apart by this attack. Just as well, in this card art, we also see a massive surge of water, which I chalked up to a hurricane. Now, I asked the question, what happens when you get hit by a hurricane? A few things can happen, really. A storm surge can happen, a lot of heavy rain, high winds, tornadoes, structural damage, contaminated floodwater, and carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah, this thing can poison you. And on top of all that, you absolutely, could drown. So imagine drowning while being struck by lightning, while being set on fire. This thing sucks. Getting hit by Almageddon sounds like one of the worst things that could ever happen to you, and let alone to your body. So one of those points was a tornado, which is heavily featured in the second art, or rather the promo art. So what happens when you get hit by a tornado? A lot of things. There are soft tissue injuries. There could be lacerations, punctures, abrasions, contusions. There's also orthopedic injuries. There could be head injuries, blunt trauma, penetrating injuries. Tornadoes have been seen tearing through towns and ripping buildings apart, flinging cars left and right. Imagine being flung into the oblivion, being hit by lightning, so your nervous system's being destroyed. You're drowning, and you're being hit by 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Almageddon is a nightmare and a half to deal with. I don't even want to imagine what it's like, getting hit by any of these things, let alone Almageddon in of itself. But here's the weird thing. If you notice, looking at the original card art, there's a nuclear explosion happening. So what happens when you get hit by a nuclear bomb? Well, a nuclear bomb can be pretty devastating, killing hundreds of thousands or millions of people. Some of the immediate effects include shockwaves, thermal energy surges, there's flying debris, overpressure, intense winds, there's also radioactive fallout, there are long-term effects too. Yeah, and something that a lot of people don't think about is you could get vaporized by this thing. So imagine getting vaporized by something that's comparable to the Tsar bomb, which apparently is the most powerful nuclear bomb ever created, which has a yield of 50 megatons of TNT. Oh my gosh. The idea of being destroyed by one of these things is insane. It is the equivalent of apparently 15 Hiroshima bombs, which each of them have 1,500 tons of TNT to be blown up at your face. Yeah, and in the show, we see Underworld Raiders get absolutely vaporized. And the same thing happens with Clay in the show. And his reaction is, you can definitely see the look of pure shock. So yeah, with that in mind, Armageddon, by the lore, sounds like it would be the most devastating attack to be dealing with. Like, in short term, like, if you somehow survive Armageddon, you will be burned throughout your entire body. Your nervous system wouldn't really work that well anymore. Your lungs would be completely filled with water. Your brain would be just mush. Like, you are vaporized. Armageddon vaporizes you. And once Chaotic eventually does come back, if we get Hotan's Armageddon as an attack, I think it should be a 6 cost build, and it deals like 500 damage. Like, it has to completely vaporize the opposing engaged creature. I feel like you could do that. Like, what if it had like a base of 0, but its ability states that like you just destroy the opposing engaged creature? Like, Hotan's Armageddon is something to be feared. And we do see Armageddon a little later, especially towards like the end of the series. Heptad uses it, but everyone like ducks for cover. Armageddon, you just get vaporized. So Heptads, at least in my mind, by concept, sounds like it would just be weaker. So yeah, that's Armageddon. With that in mind, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Is Armageddon, like, canonically the strongest attack? How would you guys handle Armageddon? You can't just duck and hide, right? There's a lot to it. So with that in mind, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.